Meanwhile, Singapore Airlines has started trials of a new service which will allow for quicker verification of Covid-19 test results. The app can also be used to verify travelers' vaccination statuses and potentially act as a vaccine passport of sorts. SIA is the first airline in the world to set up such a verification process based on Iata's Travel Pass framework. So joining me now to share more on this new app is journalist Toh Ting Wei. Ting Wei, for a start, could you tell us how does this app work? Who is the target traveller that for this new service?
So for this app, it kind of brings everything together. So for a start, it will be for travellers coming in from KL and also KL and Jakarta. So how it works is that basically for the traveller, they can go to approved clinics stated by the authorities here in those two cities, and there they can get a health certificate which will have a QR code on it. So this certificate can be either printed or digital. Then after that, when they come to Singapore, because the current process now, if you are coming to Singapore to check your COVID-19 test statuses, you will have to kind of pass it to the customs officer who have to manually check it, like check the date, check whether it's valid, check whether it's a real certificate. But with this QR code and the app that is with ICA officials, they can just scan the QR code and they will get to be able to quickly verify all the necessary information, like whether you're test negative and whether this certificate is still valid. So starting with these two cities, and it will be gradually expanded to other flights from other cities as well if the trials are successful.
Right. And how robust and seamless is this system?
So for this, they go with the Iata Travel Pass framework. So it's something that's quite broad and still in the works, but basically kind of divides it into 4 components for future travel. So in terms of how robust it is, I think one thing Iata has kept talking about is how it will be secure. The data, let's say your COVID vaccination status or your test status, it will be stored on your phone and it will be encrypted. So by right, it shouldn't be accessible unless you give explicit permission for people to access it.
Right.
And how seamless it can be, that one we will have to wait for the trials to finish and to see the results.
Right. And if the trial does prove successful, Ting Wei, what does it mean for travel moving forward? What are we hoping to achieve from this?
So it's very early stages, but I think one of the bigger things that it could lead to is the introduction of vaccine passports. Because now with different countries, and there's a lot of different requirements. Let's say if you're a traveller looking to come to Singapore or looking to go to maybe China or any other country, there will be very complex and different requirements, different stay-home notice requirements and such. So what Iata has been hoping to achieve with this travel pass, and now SIA by going on board it, is to kind of push for standardized regulations throughout the world. So when you go overseas, you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm not meeting this country's requirement, but I'm meeting the other country's one. So basically having all the information consolidated into this app, it kind of acts as maybe like a digital passport or a vaccine passport. So I think the clearest application moving forward is once you have your COVID-19 vaccinations, you can use this to prove that you are vaccinated and safe from COVID-19. To be clear, there aren't any rules saying that you have to get vaccinated to be able to travel at the moment. But I think industry-wide, it's expected that governments will start introducing this naturally to make it safer for people to go overseas without having to quarantine. So I think it's a small step now. It's just a QR code, but maybe 3 months down the road or 6 months down the road, we'll start to see it being used as a standardized platform to verify the COVID-19 vaccination results before you are allowed to go into a country.
Well, thank you so much, Ting Wei, for sharing a bit more on this new service that SIA is trialling. And I've been speaking to journalist Toh Ting Wei on a service currently on trial by SIA, which will allow for quicker verification of COVID-19 test results. Now, you can read more about it on straitstimes.com.